Someone you love has two friends who have strong opinions about you. My beloved child, stop scrolling for just a moment. Something has been resting quietly at the edge of your attention, waiting until your heart became still enough to notice it. You may believe you found these words by chance, but within this story, imagine that heaven has chosen this exact moment to whisper to your soul. Before you decide this message is meant for someone else, stay a little longer. There is a reason your curiosity refused to let you leave. You have been asking questions that even your closest companions cannot hear. They are the silent questions that echo only when the room grows quiet. You wonder why certain conversations suddenly stop when you enter. You wonder why some smiles seem warmer than before while others have become strangely distant. You wonder whether your kindness is truly seen or quietly misunderstood. These thoughts have followed you like shadows, appearing for only a second before disappearing again. Yet they always return. Within this fictional vision, picture yourself standing beneath a sky filled with countless stars. The wind is still. The world seems to pause between one heartbeat and the next. A voice unlike any you have heard before speaks with both gentleness and authority, not to frighten you, but to awaken something sleeping deep inside your spirit. My beloved child, there are moments when the truth does not arrive as thunder. Sometimes it comes as a whisper carried across ordinary days. Sometimes it waits until you have stopped demanding answers and started listening with your heart. You look around, expecting to see someone standing nearby, but there is only light stretching farther than your eyes can reach. The silence is not empty. It is alive. The voice continues. You have been focusing on the person you love, wondering whether they truly understand you. Your heart has searched for certainty, yet you have overlooked something quietly unfolding beyond your sight. Every relationship carries unseen conversations. Every bond is surrounded by voices, opinions, memories, fears, and hopes. Love is rarely shaped by only two hearts. Those words linger. Love is rarely shaped by only two hearts. You repeat them silently because they feel heavier than they first appeared. The light around you grows brighter, revealing paths that seemed invisible only moments before. They stretch in different directions, crossing and weaving together like threads in a tapestry too large for any single person to understand. My beloved child, the voice says again, the person you love has two friends. Each carries a strong opinion about you. Neither opinion exists without a story. Neither story is complete. Yet both have quietly influenced moments you never realized were connected. Your breathing slows. You begin replaying memories. Conversations. Expressions. Moments that seemed too small to matter. A delayed reply. An unexpected silence. A sudden change of plans. A sentence that sounded ordinary at the time but now feels different under new light. Could there have been more beneath the surface? The voice does not rush to answer. Instead, it allows the question to remain, because some truths become clearer when they are discovered instead of handed over. You continue walking through the endless landscape of light until you notice reflections appearing around you. They are not mirrors. They are living memories. One reflection shows laughter shared with the person you love. Another reveals moments of uncertainty. Another reveals promises spoken sincerely. None of them are false. Yet none of them reveal the entire picture. The voice speaks once more. Every heart interprets another heart through its own experiences. Some people see hope where others see danger. Some see loyalty where others expect betrayal. Two witnesses may observe the same sunrise and remember completely different mornings. The reflections begin shifting. Now you see two figures standing at a distance. Neither face is visible. One stands with folded arms. The other watches quietly without speaking. The light surrounding them reveals neither darkness nor perfection. They are simply human, carrying histories that have shaped the way they see the world. My beloved child, the voice says softly, do not mistake another person's opinion for the final truth about who you are. Those words settle deeply. How often have you measured your worth by someone else's interpretation? How many nights have you replayed conversations, wondering what you should have said differently? How many mornings have you questioned yourself because another person's silence felt louder than their words? The wind begins moving again. It carries fragments of conversations that cannot quite be understood. They drift through the air like leaves. I'm not sure about them. I think you're misunderstanding. Maybe you should wait. You don't know the whole story. I've noticed something different. None of the sentences finish. Each disappears before revealing enough to satisfy your curiosity. The uncertainty itself becomes part of the lesson, because life often feels exactly this way. Rarely do we hear complete conversations. Rarely do we know every motive. Rarely do we understand every influence shaping another person's decisions. Yet our hearts rush to conclusions. The voice gently interrupts your thoughts. My beloved child, patience reveals what panic never can. You stop walking. Those words seem meant especially for this moment. How many answers have been lost because people reacted too quickly? How many beautiful relationships have fractured because assumptions were allowed to grow louder than compassion? The landscape changes once again. Now you find yourself standing beside a calm river. Its surface reflects not your appearance but your emotions. As you look down, you see hope, then uncertainty, then courage, then fear. The river does not judge any of them. It simply reflects what is already there. My beloved child. The voice continues, before you seek to understand another person's opinion, understand your own heart. The river ripples, new images emerge. You remember moments when insecurity quietly convinced you that people thought worse of you than they actually did. You remember times when kindness surprised you because you had expected rejection. You remember opportunities almost abandoned because fear whispered louder than faith. The voice remains gentle. Not every silence hides rejection. Not every delay hides betrayal. Not every opinion possesses the power you imagine. Still, something about these two unseen friends remains unresolved. The story has only begun. You sense there is more, much more. The light shifts toward the horizon where dawn seems forever moments away. The two distant figures appear again. This time they stand farther apart. One gestures with confidence while speaking, the other listens before quietly shaking their head. No words can be heard, only emotion. One appears certain, the other appears thoughtful. Neither notices your presence. My beloved child, the voice says, certainty is not always wisdom. Confidence is not always truth. You feel something inside you begin changing, not because every mystery has been solved, but because your desire to judge quickly has begun giving way to a deeper desire to understand. The journey continues, the path narrows, the air grows warmer. Somewhere ahead, something important is waiting. The voice grows quieter, causing you to lean in as though every word matters. There are conversations that happen when your name is absent from the room. There are decisions shaped by voices you never hear. Yet remember this: another person's conversation cannot rewrite the identity already written within your soul. Those words remain suspended in the air like stars refusing to disappear with the coming dawn. For a moment everything becomes still again, almost too still. Then, a single bell echoes somewhere beyond the hills. Once, only once, its sound carries farther than seems possible. The two distant figures suddenly turn in the same direction, not toward you, toward something approaching from beyond the light. Their expressions change. One seems surprised, the other suddenly grows quiet. Even from this distance, you sense that whatever is coming has the power to change everything they thought they understood. The voice speaks one final time before silence returns. My beloved child, opinions can influence a story, but they cannot determine its ending. The moment that is approaching will reveal not only what these two friends truly believe about you, but why they came to believe it in the first place. And when the hidden reason is uncovered, the person you love will be forced to see something they have never seen before. The light begins to fade, the approaching figure remains hidden. Just before its face can be seen, everything disappears. My beloved child, the silence does not feel empty. It feels as though the entire horizon is holding its breath. You remain standing where the light vanished, searching for the figure whose face was never revealed. Questions gather faster than answers, yet something within you has changed. The urgency that once pushed you toward fear has become a quieter longing to understand. The mystery has not disappeared. It has only deepened. Then, within this vision, the same gentle voice returns, not as a command to believe, but as a whisper carried through the story itself. Do not be so quick to fill every silence with suspicion. The words settle like rain upon dry ground. You have spent countless moments trying to interpret what could not be seen. A delayed message became a sign. A shortened conversation became a warning. An unread expression became a conclusion. Yet the human heart has always struggled with unfinished stories. It instinctively reaches for endings before the middle has even unfolded. The landscape shifts once more. The river disappears behind you. Ahead rises an ancient pathway lined with towering trees whose branches seem woven from both memory and hope. Their leaves shimmer with fragments of conversations, laughter, apologies, prayers, and promises. Every breeze stirs another memory into the air. As you walk, the two distant figures appear again. They are closer now. Still, their faces remain hidden. One speaks with passionate certainty, the other listens carefully before responding with calm restraint. You cannot hear their words, you only see the weight those words carry. The storyteller's voice continues. Every opinion begins somewhere. Sometimes it begins with truth. Sometimes it begins with fear. Sometimes it begins with a misunderstanding that quietly grows each time it is repeated. The first figure gestures emphatically. Their movements reveal confidence, not cruelty, not kindness, simply confidence. The second figure lowers their head for a moment before looking toward the horizon, as though searching for something neither of them has yet noticed. You feel an unexpected question rising within you. Which one believes the better story? Before you can answer, the voice speaks again. Perhaps you are asking the wrong question. You stop. The path beneath your feet glows softly. The better question is this: what shaped their hearts long before they ever spoke your name? The wind carries another collection of unfinished sentences. I've seen people like them before. They remind me of someone. I don't want you getting hurt. Maybe I'm wrong. The words drift away before revealing who spoke them. Again, the story refuses to satisfy easy curiosity. Instead, it invites patience. The light around the pathway grows warmer. You begin noticing doors standing alone among the trees. No walls, no buildings, only doors. Some remain closed, some stand slightly open. One bears the simple engraving, perspective. Another reads, memory. Another, fear. The storyteller pauses, allowing you to look at them without explanation. Finally, the voice says softly, every person walks through one of these doors before forming an opinion about someone else. You approach the door marked memory. Before your hand can touch it, the wood becomes transparent. Inside is not your past, it is someone else's. You glimpse a broken friendship, a promise that was never kept, a goodbye that came without warning, a trust that was shattered years ago. The vision lasts only seconds before fading. The voice says, a wounded heart often mistakes caution for wisdom. You step back. Suddenly the certainty you carried begins to loosen. What if someone judged you not because of who you are, but because of what happened to them long before they ever met you? The possibility changes everything. The path continues. You pass the door marked fear. Within it you glimpse another story. Someone who once believed completely, only to discover they had trusted the wrong person. Since then, every new relationship has been measured against an old disappointment. Again, the vision disappears. You continue walking. The two hidden figures remain ahead, closer, always closer, yet never close enough for certainty. Then something unexpected happens. For the first time, they stop speaking. Both turn toward the same place. Not toward each other, not toward you, toward a third path emerging from the forest. A soft glow begins spreading across it. Neither figure expected someone to arrive. Neither did you. The storyteller's voice lowers almost to a whisper. There are moments when every opinion must face the truth. The approaching presence cannot yet be seen, only footsteps, slow, steady, unhurried. Each step echoes through the forest with remarkable calm. The first figure straightens confidently, the second quietly folds their hands. Neither moves away. It feels as though both have been waiting without realizing they were waiting. The footsteps draw nearer. You strain to see. Still nothing. Only light. Only possibility. Only anticipation. The voice speaks again. Truth rarely rushes because it never fears being late. You repeat those words silently. Truth never fears being late. How often have people demanded immediate answers? How often have they sacrificed understanding for speed? The forest itself seems to listen. Even the wind has become still. The unseen traveler continues forward, one more step, then another. The first figure's confidence begins to soften, not disappear, simply soften. The second figure closes their eyes for a brief moment, as though remembering something long forgotten. The storyteller says, "Soon each heart will remember why it believed what it believed." Your own heartbeat seems louder now. You are no longer wondering only what these two friends think. You are beginning to wonder what they have never told anyone. The light brightens until every tree is outlined in gold. The traveler finally reaches the edge of the clearing. Only a silhouette is visible. No face. No identity. Only enough to know that the moment of revelation has almost arrived, and just as the first figure opens their mouth to speak, the vision ends once again, leaving only one question lingering in the quiet: what truth could cause two unwavering opinions to change forever? If you believe in God, type Amen and subscribe my channel.